So Adam McQuaid just got traded to the New York Rangers today at about 10:30 in the morning. And let's go through the whys and the whats and the hows and the whos and oh my god. All right. So, primary reason for this trade is simply enough to free up cap space. Adam McQuaid is your 7th or even 8th defenseman. Definitely your 4th person on the right-hand side, and he makes $2,750,000 this season. Would have been an unrestricted free agent at the end of the year anyway. Moving on. So, who else is in front of him? Well, Charlie McAvoy is, for one, immediately ahead of him. He is the top-line defenseman on the right-hand side. Brandon Carlo, number 2, and Kevin Miller, number 3, who is a younger Adam McQuaid. Maybe a little bit more talented, too, if you ask my opinion. So McQuaid clearly is not breaking anywhere near those top 3s. So what did they get for Adam McQuaid? Well, a defenseman, no less. Steven Kampfer, meh. 4th round pick, yeah. And a conditional 7th round pick. Haven't really been able to find what the condition for that 7th round pick. At least when I was doing the research to do all of this fun stuff. So let's talk about Steven Kampfer. Steven Kampfer is more or less, he's a nobody. No offense, sorry not sorry. No substantial point totals in any season he's ever played, and he really hasn't played a whole host of NHL games. He was a former Bruin from 2010 to 2012. I don't know if that means he has himself a nice little Stanley Cup ring from the 2010-2011 season. That is a possibility. But more importantly, he is a contract cap hit of only $650,000. So that's a pretty good number. I like that number. And you can send him down to the minors, and he's waiver eligible. Yay. Perfect. Send him down, play in the AHL. So let's talk a little bit about Adam McQuaid and his kind of role he had with the Boston Bruins. And I'm not going to deny, the grit and the sandpaper and the determination and the physical and the force that Adam McQuaid is, Darth Quader. A big physical stay-at-home defenseman, was the enforcer during the later parts, especially once Sean Thornton and Milan Lucic and Gregory Campbell all moved on. To that point, 462 games with the Boston Bruins. He was a lifelong Boston Bruin, and in those 462 games, accrued 652 penalty minutes. A lot of 5-minute majors, a lot of fightings, a bunch of other penalties. A shot blocker, a warrior. There is a lot to like about Adam McQuaid. There's also a lot to not like about Adam McQuaid. I'm not going to argue that McQuaid is not all that offensively minded, not that offensively skilled. I don't know if he has a great role in the Bruce Cassidy style offense and defense, where Bruce Cassidy wants to get the puck and move it to the offensive zone. And, we got it in the defensive zone. No, get it out of the defensive zone, move it right into the offensive zone. Offense, let's go, pace. That's not necessarily Adam McQuaid. When I think of Adam McQuaid, again, physical, strong, stay-at-home type defenseman. I'm going to battle you in front of the net. More of a Claude Julien guy. So now, the more important part of this trade is the $2.1 million in cap space that the Bruins can get, they will get back for this season, and also, the rest of Adam McQuaid's contract for when it comes up next year. Now, why is this important? Well, if the Bruins want to do something at the trade deadline, they got $2.1 million to play around with. On top of the cap space they already have. If they want to do something before the season starts, again, they have the cap space they already have, plus an additional $2.1 million. So, but I have a feeling that this is going to come up a lot more next year. Why? because in 2019-2020 season, you got some big names that you need to sign that are going to be UFAs and restricted free agents, including the likes of Ryan Donato, Danton Heinen, Noel Acciari, Zdeno Chara, if Zdeno Chara wants to play himself another year, Brandon Carlo, Charlie McAvoy, your top two arguably defensemen on the right-hand side, Peter Solaric and Jacob Forsbacka-Karlsson, plus plethora of other prospects that are RFAs and UFAs, respectively. In the 2019-2020 season, the projected cap availability for the Boston Bruins is only $16,500,000 and a bunch of other random numbers. But we'll just say for the ease of use, it is $16.6 million. That's not a huge amount considering some of the names I've listed off. McAvoy is probably going to be a $6 million man. Carlo, probably going to be a $4 million defenseman. Donato, probably going to be asking for a big payday too. The name goes on and on. Danton Heinen had himself, if he has himself another good year like he did this year, can probably expect about $2 million or so, give or take, maybe even $3 million. So you have not a lot of cap space. This deal helps. Now, the other thing to note, because I know some people would be like, well, why don't you just keep Adam McQuaid for the year, and then, see you later in free agency? Well, that's not really that good. So, I agree, it was very unlikely that the Boston Bruins are going to re-sign Adam McQuaid at the end of the season, given the names that are much more priorities over McQuaid. Now, with that being said, I think it's a lot better to get something for a player, be a 4th round draft pick and a conditional 7th, instead of just see you later at the end of free agency and get nothing. So, that's kind of the breakdown of this deal. It is nothing against Adam McQuaid as a player, and it has nothing really to do with anything other than organizational depth at the position and cap space. That's pretty much it, and that's kind of what it boils down to. A financial decision. And that's pretty much why I think, anyway, that trading Adam McQuaid to the New York Rangers was a really good decision for Don Sweeney and the Bruins organization. So, like, share, subscribe, call to action, all that fun stuff, because it is almost hockey time! I can feel it in my bones. Diehards, unite! The Bruins Recap Show will return October 3rd. We'll see you then on the next Bruins Recap Show.